Welcome back, everybody. Today we have a topic that is going to be incredibly helpful. It's going to empower you to go out there and learn how to use LinkedIn. We will be discussing getting the right list with Boolean. The next step is to create your outreach list. And what you'll find is that this list has to be highly laser focused, targeted. And what you might do is you might go like this. Let's go to advanced search, search for leads. This has all search filters. We'll go through these in a minute. You might say, you know what, let's go to the geography, United States. Let's pop down here to job title. And then let's say you want to talk to, maybe president. So we'll do that there, hit enter. Looks like 3.5 million people. That's really cool. But what's going to happen is you'll scroll down here and you'll find that the job title president has a lot of different variations. What about the president of sales and marketing? What about the assistant to the president? What about the vice president? Those are all job titles that contain president that you might not want to talk to. And so what we're going to do is talk about Boolean, and this is kind of just a sneak peek to get you excited. Instead of just typing in president, you might want to do something like this. I'm going to copy paste to make it fast. President, not, and then all kinds of different variations. And when we do that, it looks like it went from 3.4 million down to 1.9. And this is just getting started. And all we did is exclude things like vice, assistant, interim, all those kind of things there that you can see just sort of pop down. So Boolean, this is going to be your secret weapon to getting a laser-focused outreach list, which is super critical when you're doing LinkedIn outreach. Here's why. This is a point that I want you to remember. People get really excited about LinkedIn, and that's super cool, but they don't realize that LinkedIn has a hidden cost. It really does, especially if your goal is B2B sales through intentional relationship building with your target audience. So there is a hidden cost that we need to talk about, and that hidden cost is, without a doubt, time. One-on-one conversations, they can just be time consuming. There's no way around it. You're talking to one person. It's a high quality conversation. It needs to be done right. It can be time consuming. And what that means is you need to make sure that every single action that you take on LinkedIn should be worth your time. And because time management becomes super critical here, what you'll discover really soon is that the cornerstone of time-effective LinkedIn outreach is beginning with the right list. Because having the right list, what that means is every person on that list is worth talking to. They're all worth your time. And that means that every action that you're doing on LinkedIn has the potential to result in a sale. Not every action and every person that you talk to will result in a sale, but there's opportunity and potential with every person on that list. But you have to start with that list. If you do not get the right list for whatever reason, if you don't get a good, clean, laser-focused list, you'll end up reading the wrong profiles. You'll be going through that list, ready to send a connection request, and you'll read through that profile and go, I do not want to talk to this person. And that time that you just spent reading and vetting that profile was wasted. You don't want to waste your time manually doing that. You want to rely on advanced search features to exclude them from the beginning so that you don't have to do it manually. That's a big deal. And then if you don't get the right list, what ends up happening is maybe you do send the connection request and maybe you do have a conversation. And then what happens is you're talking to the wrong people because maybe you missed something. Not having the right list, it dilutes the effectiveness of your overall activity. It just kills your time efficiency. It is the hidden cost. Now on to the fun stuff. There are 2 secrets, and after you go through this lesson, they're not going to be secrets anymore because you're going to be a pro. There are 2 secrets to getting that laser-focused list. Number 1 is Boolean search. We are going to discuss that in depth here today, but the second one is Sales Navigator. We're going to spend a little bit of time on Sales Nav just because they have a few search options that are unique to that platform, and then we'll spend the rest of the time going through Boolean because that's a little bit more advanced. So let's jump over here to search, and I'm going to give you an example of some of the limitations that you have in a free and premium account and how using Sales Nav is really going to help you get a laser focused list. And then we'll add Boolean to what you can do in Sales Nav, and it's going to add rocket fuel to your search. Let's take just a minute here, and I'm going to show you what you can and can't do. And this is going to be a high level overview. Let's go here to the search options that you have in free and premium. We're searching for people, all filters. And in this example, let's just say that I want to talk to the CEOs of companies that are located in Beverly Hills, not the greater LA area or anything else like that. It's very specific, CEO Beverly Hills. If you are in free or premium, you're going to have limited search options like in location here. Let's just type in Beverly Hills. There we go. There's nothing dropping down. I can't do anything like that. I'm going to have to do something like the greater Los Angeles area. So already I'm not being very specific with my geo. Maybe that doesn't matter to you, but it might, especially if you don't want to fight traffic. LA is huge. If you only want to do business in a very small part of town, that's a deal breaker for you. But this really is where it gets important, is when you're talking about job titles. I'm actually going to scroll down here. First name, last name, title. It says title, but this is their job title. I can type in CEO. Let's just do that here, and I'll do a search. And it looks like I'm showing about 112,000 people who have on their profile CEO, and they're in the greater LA area. So you might get excited and go, wow, 112,000 people, that's fantastic. But what'll happen is once you start going through and reading these profiles, you'll discover two big limitations. I'm just going to open the filters again here for you to see that. Number one is, like we already discussed, the location might be limiting. But then number two is the job title here. This is not current job titles. It is current and past. What that means is there are a lot of people in this list who are no longer a CEO. And it's going to be the same thing when we're talking to other kinds of job titles, especially where, a CEO might stay the CEO of a company for a long time. But if it's a job title where they kind of come and go and get different jobs at different companies, and they're more likely to change, it doesn't matter to you if they used to be in that role. It matters to you if they are there right now. And not being able to do that one search parameter in free and premium is a deal breaker. And then there's all kinds of other things here that you can do in Sales Nav, but just as a high level, location and job title, those will really get you. So let's hop over here to Sales Nav. I'm going to show you a couple things that you can do. Let's continue on with that Beverly Hills CEO example. We'll go right up here to geography, Beverly Hills, California. That's fantastic. Job title. Let's do CEO. You can see right here it says current. I can do current, past, current or past, past, not current. So many great options. Let's just stick with current, enter, and then we're down to 8,272. So check that out. I'm going to compare the numbers. 8272 compared with 112,000. So the percentage of people in here who you would not want to talk to is just catastrophically high. This is a big number, but you shouldn't be excited about that because it's highly irrelevant. So when you're doing a search on things like Sales Nav, you can see here that this is going to be a very highly targeted list. And then let's just, for fun, kind of add a couple things. Maybe the company size matters to you. That's something you're not going to find on free or premium. Maybe this is your sweet spot. Maybe you work with SMBs. We'll do 1 to 10, 11 to 50, and for fun, 50 to 200. And that went from about 8,000 down to 2,000. And again, if that's part of your search criteria, you need that to have the right list. And if you're just on a free or premium account here looking for those people, you are not going to get that good of a list. And that's going to be a deal breaker for you because it's going to kill your time effectiveness. So the bottom line is really you need Sales Navigator if you're going to get a good list, especially because of current job title. That is just such a super critical thing. But Sales Navigator alone is not enough. You can get a much better list using Sales Nav for sure, like I just showed you. But Sales Nav alone, it is not enough. You need to master Boolean. What the heck is Boolean? Sounds like chicken noodle soup or maybe something really techy. I don't know. Have you ever used it? Maybe. What is it? We'll get into the nitty gritties and I'll show you how to use it. But just so you kind of get a grasp on what we're talking about, all Boolean is a search operator, and it lets you do a search within a search. let's use this as an example here. Let's look for a president of a company in the United States and just kind of compare something, and then I'll get into it a little bit more. So let's type in president. There we go. Enter. And we are looking at current people with job title president in their job description in their profile in the US, about 3.5 million. That's pretty cool. But what you'll discover, like we mentioned earlier, as you go through this list, you'll discover that there are a lot of people that have president, but it's a variation of president. What if you don't want to talk to the senior vice president? Or what if somebody is the president of sales and marketing? Or what if they are just the vice president or the assistant to the vice president or an interim president? You don't want to talk to any of those people. And if you just do president, you're going to include a bunch of people that you don't want. And so let's use Boolean to get a better list. And this is kind of just a teaser. I'll explain how all this works in a moment. You might type out president with quotation marks and parentheses, not vice or assistant or interim. And let's just see what that brings everything down to. Brought it down to 2 million. So it shaved a lot of people off of that list and made the number a lot smaller. And that makes me happy because I don't want to talk to a vice president. I don't want to talk to an assistant to the president. I don't want to talk to an interim president, just the president. And if you didn't know how to use Boolean, you would have a significant amount of people in your list who you would not want to talk to, and you're just going to waste a ton of time. Where can you use Boolean? You can use it in the job title, the company name, and in keywords. So let me just show you where that's at on LinkedIn. It's going to be right here, keywords, job title, and company right here. And company means company name. This is going to come in really handy later. All right, on to the really fun stuff that you have all been waiting for, how to use Boolean in search. The first Boolean search operator here is called the not search. And to do a not search, just use capital not, N-O-T, if you want to exclude terms from your list. And as an example, what we might do is in the current job title, we did this just a moment ago, but I'm going to unpack it here. You might do president, not vice. And that would look like this right here. Current job title, president, not vice. And that is Boolean, president, not vice. Then there is the or search. To do the or search, all you have to do is, you guessed it, use capital or, O-R, to include one or more terms in your list. And as an example, again, current job title, you might want to talk to the owner or the CEO or the president because people are self-identifying on LinkedIn and you don't want to miss a big group of people just because they describe themselves differently than someone else. And that would look like this: owner or president or CEO. And that's going to include everybody who has any of those current job titles. Very, very helpful. Then there is the and search. And again, you're just going to use capital A-N-D, and that's going to require that all terms be included in your search results. An example would be in the keyword section. Maybe you want somebody who has SEO and analytics. Both of those things need to be on their profile. So if you did SEO or analytics, it could be one or the other. SEO and analytics means they both have to be somewhere on the profile. That's what the keyword section does, is it looks everywhere. And as long as both of those words are somewhere on the profile, they will appear in your search results. So let's do an example search here. We could go right up here, SEO and analytics. And then all these people will have both of those words somewhere on their profile. Maybe that's a little bit too broad. Maybe somebody needs to have that in their job title, SEO and analytics. And then look at that. A very small number, shockingly, 286 people have both of those words in their current job title. Then there is quoted search, and you're going to use this one all the time. What a quoted search does is you're going to add quotation marks, and it's going to require an exact phrase. And an example would be current job title, sales manager. Current job title, sales manager. And with these little quotation marks, what that is going to do is it's only going to show me people that have as their current job title this exact phrase, sales manager. It doesn't matter to me if they're in sales but not a manager, or if they're a manager and not in sales. If you need a specific phrase, you have to use quoted search, and you will find yourself using that all the time if you know who your money clients are. And this is fun too. Let's geek out here for a minute. Industry. You're going to use quoted search to get around industry limitations in LinkedIn. So maybe you want to talk to lawn care companies and you go, all right, let's go industry, lawn care. And you go, oh crap, there is no lawn care industry. Why isn't that there, LinkedIn? What's the matter with you? Well, to get around that limitation, what you can do is go down here to company name. It's going to be right here. And a lot of companies, I guess it depends on the industry, but in like lawn care, landscaping, roofing, a lot of those industries, it's like they always put their industry in their company name. It's just kind of funny and it's really helpful. So let's go quotation mark, lawn care, enter. What this is going to do is any company that has lawn care as part of their name, they're going to show up. Look at that. 19,000 people working at a company where lawn care is part of the company name. So I know that they're all lawn care companies. Let's see landscaping just for fun. 54,000. So maybe you're looking for the CEO. We're kind of getting on a bunny trail, but this is fun stuff. CEO, boom, 1,000. I mean, if you want to talk to the CEOs of landscaping companies, here you go. I mean, this is something that you would be drooling over, because you could message any one of these guys right now. Isn't that so stinking cool? Then there's complex search. This is going to let you combine terms, and you're going to be using parentheses to do that. An example would be current job title, president, not, and then you have parentheses, vice or assistant or interim. And this is kind of like Algebra 1, order of operation, parentheses, help LinkedIn know what you want to do. So what we're looking for is across the board, a president. Yes, absolutely. But we want to exclude a group of people from president. So we don't want to talk to the vice president or any kind of vice at all. We don't want to talk to any assistant whatsoever to the president. And we don't want to talk to an interim. Current job title, and we would do president, not vice or assistant or interim. And then that gives us the 2 million list that we talked to. And then just for fun, let's do president and look at the difference. So 2 million versus basically 3.5 million. So the amount of time that you would waste not doing a complex search is just huge. You'll find yourself using the complex search pretty much every single time that you are creating your outreach list. It's across the board every time. Here's a really important pro tip. When you're getting that laser focused list, even after you master Boolean, you're going to have to make it a practice to do a search and refine. And as an example here, we're going to look at the United States. Maybe I want to talk to somebody with marketing in the job title. This is something I've come across in the past. Let's just do marketing. I'm going to do a search. And as I go through here, I might think, okay, VP marketing, that's great. Marketing strategy. You know what? I probably don't want to talk to marketing strategy. I'm going to remember that for just a second. Let's just scroll down. Marketing analytics. Yep, I don't want to talk to anybody that does marketing analytics, just decision makers. So I'm going to kind of just go like this. We're going to get rid of that. Job title, marketing, and then we'll do not strategy or analytics. And then let's just take a look here. So we did the search. We kind of scanned it here, kind of like you're scanning search results in Google, but you get to control it a little bit more granularly here, and you can just kind of say, all right, what's in here that I don't want to be in my list? You might find a few more things, and then as soon as you find them, just go right in here and then update or revise your Boolean. And once you go through here And, maybe you can kind of just scan. You might want to open up these profiles and read them over really quick just to make sure that they're the right kind of people. You might want to go through the first, go to page 1, 3, 5, 7. Don't spend a ton of time. Just take some samples and make sure, as you kind of go like this, that these are the people that you want to talk to. And as soon as you see something, and in this case, because we're mostly just doing job title, as soon as you see something in the job title that is not something that you want on your list, just update this. You're going to do it every single time. And while we're here, just as a kind of pro tip, you're going to put a lot of time into creating this list. So what you can do is, if you're in Sales Nav, you can just straight up save the search. Wow, that's a really, really convenient thing. And if you don't have Sales Nav, you can go up here and then copy the URL and then paste it on whatever you're using, like a spreadsheet, Google Sheet, whatever it is. And then you can just click the link and it'll open everything up exactly how you had it, which would be very helpful. This is what I found, you guys. Once someone sees this kind of list, and this is not like a CSV with emails. That is the person's face. That's their face. They have this little gold symbol here. They are paying for LinkedIn, which means that they probably use it all the time. I can geek out and go over here, say, oh my gosh, who's been mentioned in the news? Who's posted on LinkedIn in the last 30 days? These guys are going to be more active. I could just go like this, boom, message. Right now, I can message any one of these people. That is something to be really excited about. So you're drooling over the perfect list. Now what? LinkedIn gives you access to all those people, but LinkedIn does not give you an action plan. And what I found is that most people, they just don't know what to do next. They see the list, they get excited, and then they just stall out. So they either do nothing or they make a really bad plan and then just ending up spamming people or spinning their wheels, doing things that don't work. And that is exactly why in the next lesson, we will talk about creating a campaign calendar. I will see you there.